another makeup tutorial for you. I thought we'd do something a little bit Christmassy, seeing as it is the Christmas season now. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, leave a like, comment what you want to see next, or if you want to see something other than makeup, then please let me know, because I can't read your fucking mind, okay? So without further ado, let's jump into the video. So first of all, I am going to be using my Avon Magix Smoothing Cream with SPF 20 in it. This is my primer that I'm going to be using today. I'm not the biggest fan of this primer. It's alright depending on the foundation that I use. So I'm just going to take a small bit of that. It's really hard to get out the tube. About that much. I say small, it's not small. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dab it on parts of my face that I want it. And I'm just going to smooth all that out. I am now going to be using my flat angled brush with my Perfect Finish foundation that is medium to full coverage in the shade Cool Sand number 6. And I am just going to put a big old blob on there. Make sure I've got plenty on. I'm just going to dab this in the areas that I want my foundation. And now I'm just going to use a stippling effect to dab it all out. Okay, so the foundation is on, and the reason why I put the foundation on first, because I'm not going to be really using any dark colours that are going to fall onto the foundation and ruin it, so I should be okay with this one. I did go in with my beauty blender just to help like push it into my skin a little bit, and now I'm gonna go in with my eyebrows, and then I'll do concealer. So I'm going to be taking my brown eyeliner pencil by Sleek Makeup. It just says brown 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to be taking that, bring this a little bit closer so I can see, and running it through my eyebrows. I don't want to go for nothing too crazy today. I'm just trying to kind of make hair-like strokes. Not doing very well at it. And I am now going to take a spoolie brush, going to brush up the front and brush it down from the top. And I'm going to brush it back into the front again. We need no judgment on how the eyebrows are looking right now, because we know we're going to fucking fix them. Going to be taking just a small flat-headed brush, bit of concealer if I can find it. I'm going to be taking my Sleek Life Proof Concealer in the shade For Vanilla Chai. And I'm just going to be taking a little bit of that on the end of my flat-headed brush. And I'm going to be starting at the arch, making my way down to the end of the eyebrow. And then I'm going to slowly bring that to the front and just blend the rest of that concealer out. The concealer that's left on the brush right now, and just running it over the top of my eyebrows. Just patting a little bit of that in the front. Helps give it a little bit more of a blend, as you can see. I'm bringing you closer just so you can see a little bit better. That is how the eyebrow is looking right now, and that's how the other one looks. Whew, I couldn't imagine walking around like that. So I'm just going to finish the other eyebrow off camera. So now both eyebrows are done, and I am actually happy with them. Love them. We are now going to conceal the rest of our face and contour, and then we will go onto the eyeshadow. So I am going to be taking the concealer. Which one's whiter? I am going to be taking my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 5. and I am going to be taking it down the bridge, down the side of my nose, slightly under the inner corner, like that. I'm going to be going up and out from the outer corner upwards. I am going to be taking this and doing a slight inner corner raise. I'm going to be taking it around my nostril as well, over my cupid's bow, over my chin, tiny little bit on my forehead, because it's big enough, I don't need it any bigger. And I'm going to be taking that small flat brush again, taking some concealer on it, and I'm going to go down the edge of my nose, the bridge of my nose, and on the tip. And now I am going to be taking my beauty blender and just blending all of that out. Making sure I'm not dabbing too much because I don't want to take any of the base along with it. I finished blending out all the concealer. I have just powdered down all the places that I've put concealer in. Now I do want to add just a slight bit of contour to my skin, which I am going to take my Mighty Matte palette by W7, and I am going to be taking this sort of like greyish brown shade here. I don't want to be taking too much of it because I don't want it to look as though I've just smeared shit on my face. I just want it to be ever so light. I'm going to take some of this lighter shade here and just dust that over the top, just so it doesn't look so unnatural. Just going to take my beauty blender, kind of dab that in a little bit. Just bringing you in a little bit closer so you can see. It's nothing harsh, just a slight nose contour to bring it in a little bit at the end. Now we are going to prime the eyes with concealer using my favourite flat fluffy brush. I'm going to take my Fit Me concealer and just dot a little bit over the eyes. And I'm just going to blend that out with my brush, like so. Eyes are primed. I am now going to be moving on to a transition shade for the crease. I'm going to be using the brush I always use for transition shades. It's just a big fluffy brush, and I'm going to be taking my Blazing W7 palette, taking this shade here, the second lightest one, tapping that off. I'm just going to dab it into the crease, just slightly buff that out. Right, this is what I am going to replicate on this eye. I just took like a medium sort of sized fluffy brush, taking the palette Blazing, and I went in with this shade here, if you can see. And I just popped that all over the outer corner of the eye, and I brought that all across the crease of my eye as well. And now I'm just going to blend it out. And I like to blend it outwards so it gives me more of like that winger look, because if I brought it inwards it would make it look like I've got really deep eyes, and I don't want that look, you know what I mean. Take that brush for the transition shade and just go ham with it. Now I am going to be taking this shade and again just stamping that on the outer corner, and now I'm only going to bring it halfway into the crease. Again, we want to bring it outwards. Wipe off the brush, blend that into the colour we used before. Now I am going to be taking this sort of like reddish brown shade here, which is called, actually, I'll tell you, I think it's called Hot Sauce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's called Hot Sauce. They actually have names. Stamping that on the outside of the lid again. And I am bringing that just halfway into the crease once more. Blend, blend, blend. I am next going to be taking this dark brown reddish shade, which is called Alarming. Swirling my brush in it, outside of the eye once more, into the crease. Taking my transition brush once more, just smoothing out any inconsistencies. Oh, pop myself in the eye. Don't do that. Now we're going to take this really dark brown shade, which you can't see, and that is called Hot as Fuck, which I am. We're just going to take that directly on the outer corner. Blending. I am going to go back to my Mighty Mattes palette, and I am going to take, this has got the names on the back as well. I am going to be taking the shade Jupiter, which is my light shade here. Yes. Taking a little bit of that, and I'm going to just lightly dust over the inner corner and over the top. See, this is a trick that nobody teaches you. It makes everything look seamless and flawless and properly blended. Now we are taking the Beat It palette once more, and I am going to be taking the shade The Gambler, which is this gold shade at the end. Just going to take a wet brush, taking some of that shade on my now wet brush, because I don't use concealer for cut crease no more. Wrong guy. And I'm going to be placing it where my crease is, swiping inward. And I'm tapping it over the brown that is on the middle of the lid, just to help to create that transition. Now, I did use a lot of different golds to get this pigment because I couldn't find the right gold. I don't think I do have the right gold, to be fair, but there you go. We are now going to be going on to the Romance palette, and I'm going to be taking the shade, it doesn't say. Yeah, it does, Amour. It's Amour. Taking the shade Amour, and I'm going to be patting that over the top of the previous shimmer shadow. Taking this like gold shimmer bottle of an eyeshadow and just rubbing that over. Now I'm going to be taking my Glam Crystals Dazzling Gel Eyeliner by Collection. I think I had this from Avon before. Right, and I'm just going to be brushing over the gold with it, just to give it a little bit more of a shimmer. Just like that. We are now going to be focusing on the bottom lash, which I am going to be using my Green Neon eyeshadow palette from Primark. I'm going to be taking this really dark green shadow, dabbing that on a small, well, on a thin angled brush, and I am literally going to be stamping that along my lower lash line. I'm going to be taking a pencil brush and just smudging it ever so slightly. Kind of smoke it out a little bit, not make the line so harsh. Back in with the same angled brush, I am taking this shimmery green shadow, stamping that again across my lash line. And I'm going to be smoking that out once more. I am going to be wiping off my pencil brush, and I'm going to be dipping that into my Morphe 35R palette, which I have had for years and it looks like shit now. Yeah, I'm going to be going in with this like gold shimmer shade, mixing it with this gold shimmer shade because I'm basically the same fucking colour. Dabbing it off, and I'm going to be using that on the inner corner of my eyes. Also taking the same shades and placing them on my brow bone. Just bringing it closer so you can see what's going on. I've just set all my face, so there is nothing tacky or anything. I am going to be taking my Mighty Matte palette once more, taking a big ass fluffy brush, and I am going to be taking the shade that I used earlier to contour my nose. Just dipping my brush in it. I'm going to tap off the excess and I'm going to use this to contour the face. I'm going to use this in my natural crevices that I see. Crevices, that doesn't really sound good, does it? And I'm going to do the jawline as well, which is non-existent. I'm going to mark out where I want it to go, brush off the excess and just blend away. Now I'm going to do a little bit on my forehead. I don't want much on the forehead though. Now going to be taking my Revolution Maxi Reloaded Monster Matte palette, and I am going to be taking this warm brown shade here, and I'm going to be using that colour to sort of bronze up the face and warm it up. Just putting that in all the areas that I have contoured, just to help warm those areas back up and give me a bit more life back to my face. Contours done, bronzer's done. I have powdered it over just a little bit to help blend it in. I don't think this side has turned out as well as this side, but that happens, doesn't it? So I am now going to go on to my highlight, which I don't know what highlight I'm going to use. I think I'm just going to use my Technique one. I'm going to use my highlighting brush that I always like, which is a big fluffy brush, and just highlighting the high points of my face. On the chin, Cupid's bow, above the eyebrow like I like it, and I am just going to be taking my pinky finger just to add a little bit to the tip of my nose and to the bridge. I'm going to take that Noir shade from earlier, and I am just going to swirl my brush in there and dust that over all the points that I have highlighted already. I'm just going to be taking my blush from Neva and putting that all across my cheeks and up here. Just gonna put some of that on my nose, a bit on my chin, a bit on the forehead. Okay, so I'm back. I have done a cat wing eyeliner. The reason why I haven't done it on camera is because it takes me a lot of concentration to do eyeliner, and I didn't want to be fucking it up on camera. Thankfully, it turned out quite nice actually. I have curled the lashes on this side off camera and put mascara on them. I am currently waiting for this lash glue to go tacky for the eyelashes. I am now going to do this eye on camera for you. So I'm just like pumping it, like doing a few like squeezes at a time to help curl them. And I'm just going to take my mascara and do my mascara trick that I love. And just brush the ends first. Now gonna do the bottom lashes. And while I'm waiting for this side of mascara to dry, I will attempt to apply this lash. I am going to apply it in the direction of my wing, which is also why I've added eyeliner, because I'm not good at lashes. So well, that went on pretty nicely. I'm going to go back in with my mascara and do the rest of the top of my lashes. Moving on to the lips, and we are going for like a bold red. So I am just going to outline my lips with this Avon True Colour Glimmer Stick Lip Liner in True Red. And I am now just going to be outlining my lips. How I outline my lips is I literally go ever so slightly below my natural lip line at the bottom, and then curving round I just follow my natural lip shape. And I follow my Cupid's bow, and then I try to round it off at the top and then just follow it back down. I'm going to bring that line a little bit thicker. And now I'm going to move on to my lipstick, which is Avon's Red Supreme lipstick, and it is matte, and it's a bit fucked up because I've used it that much, and it's broken, which I'm only just realising. I'm going to top it with this Ghost lip gloss in the shade TFR16140. I have no idea what it is. I was gifted this, so I'm gonna dab it on. And now to finish off the look with some setting spray. I'm going to dab that setting spray in with a sponge ever so carefully. This just helps it to like sink into the skin nicer. It's making makeup look more like skin. And this is the final look. I'm quite happy with how it looks actually. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video, tutorial, mess around, whatever you want to call it. I love how it's turned out. I think it's turned out great. It's really portraying the vision that I had in my head for it. I have no complaints whatsoever about it. I am definitely going to be doing this on Christmas Day. I always do some sort of makeup look on Christmas Day. This, I think I'm definitely going to try and replicate it. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment on it, share it with friends or whatever. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.